Good evening, guys. Welcome to the stream. How are you doing? It's been a hectic day here, full of iRacing, because I'm trying to qualify for that IMSA global thing, and it's quite depressing driving without any FFB, which is basically the iRacing experience. And now we will have some crazy FFB with the LMP2s, so let's see how that goes. Just chatting quickly to Mr. Michi Hoyer, because he's gonna drive today as well, but not yet. So we need to realize or decide if we do LMP2 for the weekly or if we do the GTE for weekly. Anyway, let me quickly fix some. Več nastavitev zvoka, snemanje, odlično. Right, so, well, we started Monza fixed to get up to speed a little bit. And then we attempt the weekly. It's quite interesting to see that they went from like Multiclass Open in the intermediate and moved the Open series into the weekly and then have two different weekly events. But I mean, in the end, it doesn't really change that much. Alright. Music off and let the racing commence. Where are you, Mr. Stream? Alright. I hope the lighting is fine. Last time I had to decrease the lighting, but I think it's slightly dark now, although it should be fine. Maybe I can put the camera... Why does my camera buttons don't work? Eh. What's going on there? The Stream Deck software update, and then I pressed some buttons, and potentially I pressed a button which kind of killed the stream. So, why is this car driving? Probably I'm looking at a different car now. And the UI didn't close, so return to garage, start driving again. Now we should be all live and ready to set a lap time. Yeah, it's all back. Yeah. I'm back. And I'm on track. Oof. Exciting times. So yeah, about the lap times, I really don't have any single idea. I don't even know if it's 120s or 130s or 140s. Hi Yo-Yo! One thing I always do with LMP2 is decrease TC power cut. Because the most of the struggles with traction come from too low main TC setting, not from the cut. That's a bit too late on the brakes, although maybe when the tires are hot it's gonna be the correct braking spot. So how did the iRacing go? Yeah, I explained it, but I was talking to close downstream, right? It's kind of alright. We are P15 and top 28 teams go through. I mean, I personally I'm like P56 in the leaderboard, but out of the leaderboard then pairs are taken for that IMSA Global Series. So we are P15 in the team's standings for now with Jesper. Slightly too late on the brakes. But top 28 go through, and like 15 hypercars or something, or they are called GT. No, what's it called? GTP. No, it's not GT. It's something else. So yeah, for now iRacing, I mean, the force feedback is non-existent, so now I'm struggling with getting too much information from the steering wheel. It's after you drive iRacing, so when you drive LMU after driving iRacing, it's just like, well, I mean, it's easy to say for me it's back home because I've driven R-Factor 2 for so many years, but the car just communicates everything here. And in iRacing you just get a sponge. I got like a big snap on the rear on my fastest lap, I didn't feel anything. So I could be top 50, but FFB didn't tell me to correct, so I corrected it when it was visible, and that was too late. GTP and... why is Hypercar GT? Like GTP, that's so confusing. So 2 more laps here. But yeah, like, all these big series, official series, are happening on iRacing, so what can I do? I need to suffer, and I'll make you guys suffer when you're gonna watch me driving that thing together with Jesper in the 4-hour races. Come on! Oh dear. But it should be good fun anyway. Like, I mean, overall it's still sim racing, right? Even iRacing is not a sim where the physics is in the first spotlight, let's say. Grand Touring Prototype. The Grand Touring Prototype reads to me as if I was reading like let's say glowing hot circular quadratic block of ice or something. Like, it's... no, that's too complicated. Let's say just square circle. That's more simple. GTP's LMDH. I mean, that makes sense. So, well, I need to gain 410 somewhere now. That's good. If I can just carry these 410s, that's pole, if others don't improve. Well, looking good. Hypercars in iRacing are awfully recreated. I mean, they drive awfully. But the GTs or GT3s drive even more awfully. As we cross the line and take the checkered flag and get the pole position. Let's see if somebody improves. That was a clean lap. I was quite safe on the entries. And probably that saved my lap. Alright. Well, it's not Sebring and it's not ×2 fuel yet. thought it was frozen for a moment. But we have, let's say, 15 laps. Let's try again with Motec. I keep forgetting to check the in-game usage. 3 liters. It's all with. So 45. Let's take 45 liters. And let's quickly fix the tiny pedal to remove the softs from the equation and hards, because there is just mediums and wets here. Probably 45 is one lap too much, but yeah, let's see. Yeah, again, GT, like when I see GT, I just look, I mean, I picture in my head myself like a normal, like a road car, like some Porsche GT3 or whatever. That's a GT, GT whatever to me. GT3, GTE, GTP. So I'm quite confused to see like hypercars being named GT something. Extreme GT cars. I mean, in the end it's all engine on a chassis with 4 wheels. So, alright. Yeah, Verstappen, probably, yeah. Verstappen with crazy appreciation of that very broken sim. And I really don't understand why. Antivirus has been giving you stutters. Interesting. Well, I don't really have any special antivirus, unfortunately, so not anything that I can turn off easily. And we are racing. Hi, Jake. Oh, Jake, I heard news. Not great news. But let me first try to survive this mayhem. Come on. I always go safe, survive the madness, and then somebody overtakes me. TC. Couldn't put the power down. Anyway, good move by Fedorchenko there. Will be a fight for P1. Yeah, about enjoying iRacing GT3, like it's still sim racing in the end. We are still pushing and trying to find the limits. And I much prefer doing that for 5 hours a day or whatever I've been doing past few days. Maybe 3 or 4 hours. But nah, this LMU is just so much better. It's incredible. Like this is actual like proper racing, but like when I go into iRacing like esports way and open Motec and observe telemetry, what I see there in iRacing is just madness. Like somebody programmed that, somebody modded or like made the cars for iRacing, and they thought that those values are acceptable. And then we have like completely unnatural ways to brake, to apply the brakes, and tires overheating at 50 Celsius and something like it's so stupid. All that while offering no FFB at all. Stick the nose in. Ah, he lets me through. And I go a bit wide, but okay. Well, back into P1. So if only like 10% of people from iRacing kind of jumped into LMU and gave it 2 weeks of try. And if the servers held up and if some bugs were fixed. This is just so much nicer experience, just so much easier to pick up and drive because the car communicates everything so much better. And it's all a lot more logical and more like real life if you see onboards of how people are driving in real life. Want to do upshift to 7th. There is no 7th here. So yeah, it looks like I'm gonna spend quite some time on iRacing in the couple of upcoming months. While still trying to stream at least one LMU session or batch of races per week. Or like a weekly event or a special event. But let's see how that goes. I just fear that I'm gonna get my my muscle memory destroyed by the way that I have to deploy the brakes in iRacing. Ah, nice, James. I have to watch that. I have missed it. I mean, everything that I say about iRacing is through the lens of well, very fast RF2 and LMU driver who has only 3.3k iRating and who has not really clicked with that sim at any point in life. So there are people who can judge things a lot better than I. Although then I could tell a lot more about LMU than the iRacing people, I suppose, but I don't know, LMU just seems so much more logical that it's easier to give an opinion on. For iRacing it seems like you cannot make a good opinion out of it if you have not done 10,000 laps. Well, sounds great, Yo-Yo. I think that's in the plans, in the dream plans of lottery winning of many of us. Buy the Studio 397 and make sim racing great again. %51% win ratio, that's quite something. That reminds me of my teammate Jesper, but he has not driven iRacing for years. I think I have like 12% win ratio, but I literally like just loaded random Mazda Cup or whatever and did some races without really any knowledge, like 5 years ago. I think I went up to like 2k iRating in 2017 and then up to 3.3 in 2019, and that's when my last ranked iRacing race happened, so maybe I need to drive a little bit more before doing big esports events. But again, after driving just iRacing for 3 days, this just feels like as if the tires are part of the road, like so crazy well connected. You can feel separate molecules of the tires interacting with the asphalt, but in iRacing it's just a flying carpet. Yeah, the Lambo Pro Driver, of course. Although with those videos that are published, I mean, I complained in the comment section about the input lag, because I'm quite surprised that, I mean, not sure how much he drove. Maybe he just visited that one sim and did some laps for that footage with it, but actually the Lambo driver practiced more on his own sim, which has been better set up. But every time I see somebody talking about how good a sim is and then the simulator has like 2/10 of input lag, I just, well, they lose all the credibility in an instant when I see it, for me. Maybe not all credibility, but significant portion of it. Although I guess for that case, that Lambo driver still made some very good points that are valid anyway, so overall it was a good video to watch. I might be part of the FOV and input lag police. Maybe input lag is like a department of the FOV police. I'm happily part of that. Oh, Fedorchenko has done a mistake. I didn't even pay attention to the mirrors. He suddenly disappeared. 30 races to... yeah, I did... I think I have like between 50 and 60 races in iRacing. Well, to be honest, when I drove that Daytona 10 hours half a year ago, I kind of enjoyed the Cadillac GTP. But maybe it was because the half of event was in the rain, and the rain physics is better than the dry physics. But it was kind of alright. But then, that's a general trait in racing sims. If cars have more downforce, suddenly they drive more realistically. Probably because nobody is able to make a good tire model, and then when downforce takes over, it matters less. Well, thank you for the sub. Yeah, that window doesn't work. I'm still yet to manage to make functional that window which shows who exactly subscribed. I tried 4 different things, nothing works. I don't know what's going on. When Grosjean drove, yeah, I mean, I don't know what they're doing there. But that's just like part of, or not, like it's a symptom of a general problem. I mean, I was not at the expo. If somebody of you was at the Sim Expo, maybe it would be interesting to listen to your feedback about how all the sims were set up, because it just reminds me of my experience from the Sim Expo from Maastricht from January, where most of the sims just had so much input lag that it was impossible to enjoy anything. Everything had input lag, like 90% of sims had input lag. It was bizarre. Like, they all try to send their products, but It's literally undrivable with that input lag. Even those big sims on huge those hydraulics or like whatever, the actuators which move it around, big cockpit, big screen like across half of the room, and then half a second of input lag. Like how the most important thing and they cannot do it. So it's just very bizarre to me. And then that's why probably having just like a very small monitor with Logitech DFGT and so on can still provide better sim racing experience than a 10K rig that's not set up properly. Good evening, Domi. Well, Jake, if you're still there, well, I have many questions of what happened with you guys, but I guess it's not the correct time to keep asking the questions. I can ask if you plan to keep doing iRacing or do you have a different plan? iRacing, alright. I mean, everything else for now is just for self-enjoyment, right? Like, there is no, you cannot make any living out of any other sim, except if you have a big social media, like big YouTube channel or whatever. But iRacing is always popular. Yep, the LMVS thing. Very, very important for it to happen at some point. It must happen. Well, in the meanwhile, I guess I can ask. I should put up a poll, but I don't know how to do that while driving. Basically, the question is, should I take LMP2 for the weekly event for Sebring, as my thumbnail on the stream suggests, or should I take a GTE, because Michi is gonna drive the Porsche GTE. And I kind of want to race against Michi. Would be a missed opportunity to take LMP2 and then have less opposition, but I don't know who will sign up for it. Also, GTEs are probably a bit more fun because, well, at the start you're always trying to survive the LMP2 traffic, spinning and battling ahead. Two versus 0 for GTE. Alright. I think Michi has even sent me some setup for that Porsche. But let's see how much time we have to prepare for that. Last time that we drove at Sebring with GTEs, it was fixed race, I think. Did we drive together with Jesper? I remember... Oh no, I did it once more. I took the Ferrari and got the pole, but then fell behind a Corvette, I think. I'm intrigued to know what exactly the BOP is there. Anyway, should be 3 more laps. When did these specks of dust or whatever appear on the windshield? Like, sometimes I just suddenly realize that there is a lot of dirt on the windshield. And then if there was not an update, it's not removable. Yeah, it just stays on. That's wide. Well, I mean, let's maybe try to make a 38.9 or something. I think I did 38.6 in quali. I did the flick in the middle of the chicane, quick steering from right to left, and that's the way to drive in RF2 in that corner, because the rear slip angle allows it. Oh, don't accelerate, thank you. I need to make one of these graphs, that, like this trailing graph of the inputs, and compare it to iRacing, because in iRacing it's like this. On the brake. Sometimes. I don't know. I'm trying to learn how to use the brakes there, but then I see videos saying on YouTube that if you brake aggressively you overheat the fronts. And then I check Motec and the fronts go from 40 Celsius to 60 Celsius, which is not what I would call overheating. It really doesn't like the anti-cuts. It's just a very stiff car. but it likes those anti-cuts. Quite weird. That's surely fast enough for a 37, no, 38.8, yeah. Alright. Just driving this is such a, like, a therapy after driving iRacing for quite a while. I noticed, like, in iRacing you cannot escape by pressing escape. You have to hold escape. And I'm now doing that in LMU. My muscle memory already in shambles. Just gonna quickly check what exactly did I do wrong at turn 1 to lose the position. I just braked too early, I think. Although that was quite a bit of quite a big bonk from Fedorchenko. But a fair move. I guess he was looking in the virtual mirror as well. And then it's easy to overlook a car that's in your blind spot, kind of. But I'm also intrigued to see why the crash happened. Well, it's always one guy being a bit... I mean, he was cautious, like, he started braking here, but he didn't brake fully. He kind of half-braked and then suddenly the corner was there, but he hasn't slowed down yet. Oh well. I had to leave it a space. Maybe you mean here. Yeah, I did understeer a little bit into him. I mean, I had steering fully to the right, like I didn't intend to take the apex. I tried to leave space, but I took the anti-cut and the tires are cold. And then a small bonk happened. Oh well. Just another normal day at turn 1. In iRacing, that contact will be glue. Yeah, I don't look forward to wheel action in iRacing. Yeah, for the braking, it's always the same. Like one car out of 15 brakes too late and causes a massive pileup. Oh, the bug. The bug where the profile doesn't update itself or doesn't sync. Come on. Yeah. I guess I have to exit to desktop and go back into the game and hope for the best. Okay. Loading, loading, loading. And we are in. Do you have time to quickly check the stuff? Event history. Monza rank. I mean, probably gonna be plus 1 point. Yeah, plus 0.9. But it's important to check it for the consistency. Well, online weekly race. So unregister, GTE, Porsche. That's a nice one. It still shows the LMP2. Wait, that's not the correct one. Weekly races. Okay, it updated. Thankfully. No join practice button. Oh no. For the time being, I can put this thing for my preferred field range. Let's see who we have. Ah, we have Jan racing here as well. Not that many signups, to be honest. Although 75-minute race on Thursday evening is probably not something that will ever be that interesting to people, I suppose. So, Michi has sent me Opel. Has sent me a setup. Oh, that's gonna destroy my brain. From iRacing Porsche GT3 to Le Mans Ultimate Porsche GTE. Wait, let me fix that for some extra FPS. Alright. Server opening very, very soon. Yeah, Christ, probably you always have to close the game and reopen it when that happens. Wait, so how is the strategy then? GTE can kind of make an 1 hour stint, but this is 75 minutes. But it's fuel times 2, so that means it's surely 1 pit stop. But could it be 2 pit stops? No, probably 1. Finally, join event. Wait, 75. So it's times 2. So that's as if it was 150 minutes. So that's 2 hours and a half. And that would be 2 pit stops in case it was times 1 fuel. But if I can skip 1 pit stop here, let's make some calculations. Let's assume it's gonna be 120, 120 seconds lap time. 38 divided by 2, 19 laps. For 19 laps. Circuit of the Americas, what? See, that's one. That's one setup. 101 liters. 5.3 per lap. I don't know, I just drive and see what happens. We have the coaching here, how to do multiclass racing. The people who would have to read that will probably not read it, but would try. I don't quite understand the TC on this thing. when I went out of pits, I was just upshifting according to whatever sound memory I had in my head. But one can just rev this thing so high. This is so much better experience than iRacing Porsche GT3 that I've driven 250 laps of in the past few days. It just interacts with the ground and it lets you know what's going on. It's a completely different story. Am I complaining of iRacing too much? Ooh. Yeah, good to have a slightly longer practice session here. I need the laps. What did I calculate? Like 5.3 fuel, right? For 19. Let's see how much I'm gonna use. Because with ×2 fuel, it's always important to fuel save. Well, twice as much as it's important when it's ×1 fuel. Some understeer there. 6.5 full push, that would require a lot of fuel saving. So I can do 16, 16 and 7 splash. That's gonna be interesting, strategy wise. Actually, I'm quite happy that we have changed from LMP2 to GTE, because LMP2 around here is so difficult. It always provides a crazy experience, like if you want to have fun and like really push the car to the limit and have... I mean, you can push the cars to the limit everywhere, but here you don't even need to be on the limit because of all the bumps and everything. And with LMP2 being so stiff, it always feels like you're going faster than ever. But it's exhausting. And I've already done a couple of hours of iRacing today, so I'm happy to have a bit slower race here. Actually, what I'm observing now is that this Porsche GT in LMU is so dramatically different from the one in iRacing that I just use like completely different set of muscle memory. Like I don't have problems with anything because it's a totally different car. I hope Michi is on quali fuel. Or I might have to find 3 seconds of pace. funny how every time somebody leaves or joins the game, that message for how to race multiclass pops up. Uh-oh. Could have gone for the left side. Alright, so I guess I have lost half a second to a second over the lap. Michi with 59.0, okay. Oh dear, I need to drive faster. Well, less fuel will help certainly with that. Well, since we are going with GTEs, I could as well put the correct tire compounds into the tiny pedal overlay, in case that's ever important. And we are qualifying. And we have the bug again. That sky is extremely bright, for whatever reason. It must be still fine. Yeah, it's somehow fine on the stream for whatever reason as well. Why is my camera quite orangey today? Wow, whatever. Professional streamer. I will fix it for the next time. Ah, it's open qualifying, alright. That guy is not making... He made the ah, somebody else didn't make the corner. That sunset bend when coming out of pits is so deadly. Ah, that's Michi! Michi almost binned it. Ah! Wait, ×2 fuel, of course. And I didn't refuel enough. Ah, should be enough for one attempt after this. High Passion Auto Gaming. Yeah, Decker, I think that problem with the profile grayed out and inability to see the results, I think it happened for the first time when there was the first big patch released, when Imola came out, I think. Or even the patch before that. Because suddenly the player numbers went up a lot for a couple of days and they were not prepared for it somehow. For whatever reason, so the servers struggled to work. But, well, I really don't know. It's something on the back end. So that the profiles are struggling to sync. Ah, that's many people out of pits. And he's around. Everybody's around. Oh, don't overtake me here. Alright. Beyblades on track, yes. What's up with Beyblades? Recently I have seen quite a lot of old footage of them. Just being served to me through internet, wherever I look. And there goes another Beyblade. A bit of understeer, but still on track. So I need to gain 4 more tenths to pass Michi, but he's still 8 tenths off his practice pace. Oh, that's... nah! Come on, just give me a lap time. I think I messed up by looking at the white lines there. Okay, P2 for now. That wasn't great. I'm gonna refuel a little bit. So I need 5 more liters. Maybe 6. Oi oi oi. Well, that wasn't great. But I guess I lost 6 tenths in the last corner, so the pace is not too tragic. No, too tragic. Oh yoy, nice English. So hopefully I can exit into a nice empty space on track. There is just one LMP2 coming, it seems like. Blue flag, copy. I'm gonna let him go because lap 1 is not fast because of cold tires. Actually, will I get 2 more laps after this? I don't think so, I just missed it. Unlucky. Have to cross the line with, well, 2 minutes to go. Nah, I'm gonna be like 5 seconds short. 5 to 10 seconds. I'll have to make it count. Well, thank you, Elton. It's at least style points, right? Yeah, I was looking at those white lines for the braking point. Like there are like 4 or 3 white lines, and I brake just before the last one. But suddenly there was no last white line because the one that was last, I thought it was the second to last. So, well, oops. A couple of people now got me. A lot of traffic ahead. Maybe I can quickly try warming up the brakes, the tires, I mean. I need to overtake that guy. Well, it is what it is. Tires are cold. Fuel is too high. But let's see what we can do. Well, I didn't exactly hit the apex. And that was too cautious on the brakes. At least I know I have half a second in the last corner. That was nice. I see a purple sector, wow. Flat out through the yellow flag. And that's P1 for now. Where is Michi? Two purples. Yeah, he did a 59-0 before, so let's see how that goes. Well, P6 is improving still. Jan in P5 is maybe improving. But here comes Michi Hoyer, improving by more than half a second over the line with a 0.2. Good luck, Michi. Well, I used to be in voice chat with him, but I just have massive frame rate problems, so I have to keep all the programs running on minimum, so Discord is off, and therefore voice chat is off. Anyway, last to first. Why can I not drive? Well, last to first, but some people behind are basically on the same pace. Well, Michi is far away from everyone, but I'm not. I did quite a good lap. Do we take mediums here? Michi Park entry T1 outside. I don't know if that sounds like a good idea or not. But I suppose I can only follow him. Wait, is there something else that I need to do in the setup? Michi will start on softs. I think softs should be fine. Track is 32, which is not that hot. Maybe I follow Michi. But turn 1 outside seems like a place where you get crashed off. Anyway, start driving. Mr. Michalik is still reminding us how to drive properly. Well, at least there is someone caring about it. Yeah, how can I catch up LMP2s? They have more power. The Corvette almost hit me from behind. Okay. Well, thank you, Domi. Let's see. Michi seems to be a bit faster. Yeah, I guess I'll follow him and try to make a good race. Uh-oh. Yeah, he kept spinning around. What is this? Ah! Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's the beautiful experience of LMU. LMP2 GTE Multiclass starts. A minefield. Dodge random cars, yeah. Feels like that. Yeah, now I don't know if I should start going for the lower fuel usage strategy or not. Where is Michi? Has he actually lifted straight from the start or what? I wanted like to follow him, and then when he would slow down on the back straight I would do the same, but kind of wanted to race against him, so as unsporting as it might look, let me fuel save a little bit here and wait for Michi. And do the back to first, whatever. That's a lot of lifting. And despite all that coasting, I still had 5.5 usage. Yeah, there wasn't safety car mix. so many cars are spun around in the barriers, it's quite crazy. Well, that has not been even last to first, even for Meiji. I think half of GTE field disassembled and had to box for repairs. Is Barro doing the same as us or what? Or did he do a mistake on last corner? Thanks, Semich. Yeah, that last corner is always tricky because if you do that cut back, then you understeer towards the outside. But the car on the outside doesn't really see you because you're in his blind spot, so I feared for my safety for some seconds while we were coming closer and closer, but luckily we had enough grip to avoid running into each other. That was a bad entry. Yeah, we are not really traveling too fast now, but we have to remember it's quite of a fuel save race this, with ×2 fuel usage. What is it with people going that wide? Now we have a bit of overlap. No, we don't. Okay. Slipstream. Dive bomb. And defend from Michi. P1 is quite fast. I think I need to move brake bias a bit further to front. I get a little bit of rear locking. Purple sector too nice. I guess that's a Porsche feature. Krilo in P1 is absolutely flying. But he will have to refuel more then. Ah, I had that much pace remaining in turn 1. I guess that the fastest lap included a dive bomb. I see. So we have some pace. Ah, the traction control is a bit weird. I thought something was not right in the exits. Oh, that was for position. That was Varga. And I realize now that it's been quite a long time since I last practiced the Sebring pit lane. I don't even know where exactly to turn in. It goes sharp right, then left, then right again, right? I think. We will see. Ah, so that's actually gonna be 0.799, nice. And according to the tiny pedal overlay calculation, I'm right on target for 16 laps. And I would assume we are not changing the tires. Yeah, the wear is extremely low, which is actually typical for Sebring. So in 15 minutes we will have worn like 7.5%. And that times 4 is like 60... well, 7.5, 15... and it's, yeah, 30. I think we should still be above 50% in the end. If my inbuilt calculator in my head works. My worry is that maybe the better strategy would be to take full tank and new tires and then just add a little bit of fuel in the end. But these softs don't really get much temperature into them anyway. so both wear and thermal deck should be fine. And now if fuel was not a problem for the lap time, it would be a better strategy to box and have the first stint count as this splash, but that would mean that I would be again on full tank, which is, well, slower by quite some margin, but still faster compared to being 2 or 3 wide for a couple of laps. So I need to be clever around here. Welcome back, Joao. Well, Michi decided not to take the start, just stayed on pit limiter or something, I think. So then I decided I want to still have a race with Michi, as he invited me to do back to front, so I just waited for him on the back straight in sector 3. And we are not really doing back to front because it's kind of midfield to front, because everybody else spun off or was so much behind that it made no sense to keep waiting, I think. These Ferraris are gonna be an issue because they are so fast on the acceleration and in the top speed. But they are slower in the corners. Let's watch the Ferrari drive into the distance. Was one rogue cone. How did that cone end up in the middle of the start-finish straight? LMP2s are coming. Michi did try to follow him. Oh no. Well, he did outsmart me there. Not sure if he didn't expect me or if that was a good lift and coast dummy. So Jan took the lift and coast rather than defending. Solid choice. Because I was ready to make a big dive. Uh-oh. No! Oof. That was a bit too late. Luckily that gravel always offered a lot of grip. Oh! Uh-oh. Okay. Guys, dear chat, now you saw improvement in technology. We've been asking for years for that to happen. And not long ago they made the ghosting a thing. 3 years ago we would be all 50 meters in the sky now. Well, that has been a stressful lap, but I have to keep slipstreaming and attacking. Another LMP2. Well, that's a gap for both of us. It's actually gonna get dark here. Ah, hi Rune, I missed your message. How much fuel does my friend or your friend have? Michi took the curb in a wrong way there. Not sure if Michi shows his fuel on the stream or not. But well, my fuel is in plain sight. It's quite nice to drive through Sunset Bend at the sunset. Why doesn't the chat disappear? Is that a bug? Like, it feels like sometimes it turns off, but sometimes it just stays on for a minute. I heard the lockup. Another parked LMP2, or is the same guy? What, that was before in LMP2 grid. What, the whole LMP2 grid disintegrated or what? I suppose that Michalik guy has those hotkeys enabled for quick chat. I didn't know that was still a thing. Overtaking, yes, I'm overtaking you. I'm seriously worried about Michi's fuel. He's not been as quick as I expected, so I assume he's lift and coasting a lot more than I. But no way he's going a lap longer. That would be quite a big fuel save. Again, this is the Sebring mind trick. I need less fuel because the pit lane is earlier. So I could push the fuel more if I wanted. But I need an extra liter and a half for the last lap because I'm gonna drive by the pits plus do extra lap or extra corner and extra one straight. But I think the play here is to just use as much fuel as I have available and pull a gap to Michi. Because I fear he's actually going one lap longer. Ah, he boxed, okay. That's a beautiful sunset, even though my textures are all on the lowest. Except the filtering and the anti-aliasing, but this would be so nice with everything on max. One of the lonely couple of LMP2s still alive. It's quite crazy, like at no point a whole field of LMP2s try to overtake. From the get-go it was just car by car. They must have actually all crashed out or something. So one more lap. And then we can have some mind games. And we could refuel less now and more in the last stint. The tires will easily survive till the end. That's actually an important consideration. If I refuel like 90 liters now, and Michi goes full tank, one lap later, I will defend from his undercut, or like overcut. But then I will have longer refuel later on. I suppose it's always best to have better strategy in the end, rather to get the advantage early and then throw it away or something. But we are coming into the pit lane. If we can manage to find it. That was not great. So Mitch is indeed continuing for one more lap. I mean, with this gap, I will be still in P2 or P, yeah, 32 seconds. Krilo has boxed earlier, so he will have to refuel more in the end. Michi will probably take full tank. I mean, I could take 90 liters and gain some seconds, but then if he has some tools, he could see that and refuel himself, and then yeah, it's just better to take full tank and see what happens. Oh no. Okay. Unlucky. That was 2 seconds easily gone. So where is Krilo? Nowhere to be seen. He must have changed the tires. He had 10 seconds lead. And then the tires take... How much time do the tires take? I think they are longer than on the LMP2s, or like on the hypercars. I think on LMP2s they are quite long. Yeah, Krilo is 5 seconds behind. Yeah, so he did change the tires and lost like close to 20 seconds. If he tells overtake me a couple of more times, I will, just for the sake of it, not overtake him. Nah, I shouldn't do that. And that's a problem with Tiny Pedal plugin. It shows +1 lap instead of the... Yeah, because it's gap to leader, right? I think the Tiny Pedal overlay has the option though to either check the relative gap or gap to leader. Hi Davini. So basically I wanted to do LMP2. This race is LMP2 and GTE. I plan to do LMP2, but then my friend Michi decided he wants to do the GTEs and I wanted to race him. So then we just changed the plan. And now let's see where Michi is. He has changed the tires as well. Oh no. And Jan in P1 is still going strong. I think he's going for one stop. Yeah, he needs to go one more lap after this, I think. Well, for him it's already the last lap. That's gonna be interesting to see where he ends. He's gonna lead the race, for sure, in the last stint. But then he's gonna be 2 seconds of pace. Michi is 16 behind. Well, actually the tires might be the same, so plus 12 seconds or so, same as hypercars. But the temperatures are falling, so... they will have troubles heating up the tires. And my softs still feel as fresh as they did at the start. So Jan Talik is plus 1 lap, but he's the leader. So what is that 1 lap exactly? Yeah, he's boxing. All right. Yeah, this is gonna be interesting. this day to night transition is just so nice. Such a good experience. If I ever at some point have like a big room that I can dedicate solely to the sim racing, I really want to get those lights like Boosted Media has, that kind of illuminate the whole room according to what the monitor is showing. And that would be quite insane for the immersion. The gaps are still broken, what is that? Or is it actually showing the gap to LMP2? But that's not... that doesn't make any sense, because it's like split class mode, so it should show gap to leader. Oh well. It's a free add-on. I cannot complain too much. Maybe I'm incompetent user who cannot properly set it up. Hi Toyota man. Exclamation monitor. I don't have the commands set up yet, but it's Samsung CH49G something. Hz, 49-inch, 1080p. Matt Malone painted his walls black, really. I have not watched him or seen him for some months, to be honest, so... But no, I don't want black walls. That's for sure never gonna happen. And Joao, it's ×2 fuel, so yeah, it's either one pit stop and a lot of fuel saving, like crazy much fuel saving, or it's a 2-stop. Basically it's half of stint of refuel, so that's very difficult to save. But that's such an iRacing thing, you know? Like these commands that people click the button and it sends a message out. I see that sometimes in iRacing. I mean, I saw it when I was driving iRacing public lobbies years ago. Fairly commonly used, alright. Yeah, in iRacing the chat is a lot less intrusive. I did a downshift to third there. It's just like small chat at the top of screen, but here it's basically appearing on the apex and it's super annoying. I mean, my bad for making the UI squeezed instead of like the wide option, but that's the only way I can make it look alright. Otherwise it would be way too far from the center, like this this thing. So Krilo in P2 has new tires, but he's not able to catch me. And Mitch is not doing too crazy lap times either. So maybe my strategy is fine. Ah, yeah, Fedorchenko. Yeah, it shows one lap to the LMP leader. That's not too great. So Michi unlaps himself. And he's still 15 seconds, 14 seconds behind. I mean, he will gain quite some time by short fueling in the end. Although he might be going one lap longer again and he actually has half a second of pace advantage. Yeah, I'm far from being safe here. So more yellow flags. What was that one for? Should I trust tiny pedal overlay or put one lap extra? So it's saying plus 35. If I take 40, it should be kind of alright. Jan, how does exactly that iRacing voice chat works? I never fully understood it. Like, it's proximity chat or what? Or like everyone is just in the same kind of room and can just talk over each other? I've always had it closed down. Everyone is a single... Okay, I see. Yeah, I always had it closed down, so I never had experience of it. I just saw it in the clips. There is actually so much ground clearance that this car can take all that curb in the like exit of previous corner, because that curb is kind of made of two parts, and if you take the second part, usually the car is gonna bottom like crazy. But this car seems to be so far in the air, so much in the air that it can take it, but at the same time this setup has been really nice. Well, the Vini, I have the same question. I mean, it's just one guy doing it, right? But he seems to be focusing more on what's going on around him than on the driving. Well, potentially yelling at kids, yeah. I mean, probably to him it just makes a lot of sense. But yeah, sometimes it's hard to understand others. Not talking about yelling to kids, but about yelling in the text chat here. As we approach another yellow flag. That yellow Porsche looked quite nice. I hope the footage on monitor is fine. It could be too dark, to be honest, because I set it for that very bright daylight at Kota last time. I don't dare clicking on the secondary monitor now and checking it, but I hope the trackside illumination is good enough. I mean, monitor, I think it's... yeah, it is on max brightness. Looks cool with the lights. Yeah, I guess in these conditions the lights on the Porsche wheel rim appear better contrast-wise. I don't understand these 5.8 laps. I seem to be under target. Like now over the line it says I have 5.7 laps. But I'm confused. I will fuel save just a little bit. And some more yellow flags. And that's LMP2. How did he spin around there? Maybe he clipped the... maybe he's just damaged a lot. Or maybe he clipped one of those curbs. Don't spin into me! You just cannot stage it. So refuel plus... yeah. 31 plus 26, like 60 liters, and repair all. And try not to crash somebody else. And that's gonna be a speeding penalty as well. I mean, it's not the first time I get crashed off by a LMP2 without a rear wing. I saw he has no rear wing, but he was going so slow that I imagined he can stay on the left. And then he can easily just spin to the left, like to the left side, but he spun to the right, so it's at least it's almost the end of the race, so yeah. But again, like, such a good race is taken away. Would be brilliant finish with Michi. He was on faster tires. He would have to refuel less. I mean, we will look at the replay after the race and see if there was something I could have done differently, but I mean, in these conditions, you have three choices: either go left, right, or just brake and wait for the car. But then, like, how long to wait for? Because that section is like very long left and then right and then into slow right. It's nowhere it's straight. It's always curved a little bit. So then I saw him kind of managing to stay on track for quite some time, so I just assumed if I go around the outside on the right, it's gonna be fine. But at the very worst time, when it was impossible for me to back out of it, he lost it directly into me, and yeah, I don't think there was anything I could have done. Maybe if within that 1 second of crucial timing I had 10 seconds to think of what to do, maybe I would get an idea, but unlucky. Well, it is what it is. Let's hope the pit entry speeding wasn't too big. It wasn't. Alright. Yeah, I went into the pits with 64 kph. Oh dear. Well, P10. Let's see if we have some race still remaining from this. We have Varga 10 seconds ahead. Well, let's try to catch him then. And then it would be nice to be able to calculate, to like subtract all the damage and all the time lost and kind of effectively make a calculation of where I would end up. Without the crash, but it's gonna be difficult to do that. Anyway, I think, yeah, people ahead of me still have to box, many of them. I need to learn to rage a bit better, to be honest. I just tend to laugh things off if there is no prize pool attached to the event. Do you curse at all? It depends on what you defined cursing, or how you define cursing. Probably if you saw me trying to like hot lap and like prepare for some quali session and binning 10 laps in a row, then you could hear some bad words from me, yes. But probably I'm cursing less than 99% of people. If that's good or bad, then that's not what I can judge, but the way we and friends that I have talk, like the way I talk with friends and how friends talk in the circles that we meet, we don't really curse, right? Like it's, I don't know. Cursing cleanses the soul. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of have different views, like kind of just like philosophical views of it. Like using some words as a curse and then saying them aloud when bad things happen. You kind of just take something that's good and attach it to something that's bad. And I mean, as long as they're, I mean, I rather not do it because it could like link things wrongly in the brain if I do it. Into P8. Yeah, Joao, I heard around Portugal and these places, swearing is basically, yeah, as you say, part of a word, like a comma, or like part of a sentence. I am from Slovenia. Clips, yeah, oh yeah. RF2CC, I'm rarely in those. I mean, I found myself in some of those, but I guess mostly for the right reasons. Actually, I was in one clip recently from the VC practice race because I was involved in a huge carnage at the top of Arouge Hill. Yeah, I mean, it's probably part of language, right? I mean, I know that Dutch people swear a lot as well, and that it's normal to do it in public and so on, but maybe it's part of Slovenian culture. Oh, that's another LMP2 without a rear... Ah, he has a rear wing. Maybe it's part of Slovenian culture and maybe like more... I mean, if you see Russians and Polish people, well, they have their fair selection of the curse words. But actually, like I thought of like all the Slovenian curse words, they are just like random, I don't know, like Križana Gora. That's a classic Slovenian curse word, and if I translate it, it's crucified mountain. Or something like that. That's all the Slovenian curse words I can bring to my mind. All other words that people use for cursing are not really Slovenian, they're kind of like Serbian, like Serbo-Croatian or Turkish even, because like, well, from Turkish invasions of Balkan, many weird words came northwards. But even in elementary school, like, we weren't swearing. If somebody was swearing, we looked weirdly at him. So yeah, I mean, culture surely makes a lot of difference there. And then we have Formula 1 and Max Verstappen saying one swear word, and suddenly you have a mild display of what multiculturalism makes. Just a big funny angriness, or however would I call it, confusion incident, just from one word that means absolutely nothing for like half of the countries maybe, but for some countries and some cultures it's very bad to do it, and it takes weeks to put that together for everyone to accept what's going on. So I don't know. I prefer to just stay on my kind of language that I got used to. And looks like we will end up in P7 in the end. As the guy still wants to be overtaken in the chat. Let's see if I can make a sub-0 lap here. Well, sub-2 minute lap. Oh, that reminds me that I still have on my to-do list to make a sub-2 minute Nordschleife lap. If you missed that stream, I was studying physics with the Assetto Corsa. I did 2 minutes 8 seconds, I think, around Nordschleife with that Formula DS crazy piece of engineering, but I wanted to do it sub 2 minutes. Family friendly stream, yeah. I'm happy keeping it like that. But I mean, there are other ways of raging that's still family friendly, right? I like philosophy. Being a Dutch and have Jos as father. Yeah. Well, that was not to be a sub-zero lap with that LMP2. But in the end, Max is still one of the best drivers in the world, and it seems like he's able to compose himself most of the time together. Seems like his girlfriend has not left him for quite some time, so it seems like he's a well-functioning human being. So there must be something quite correct that Jos did to Max, so that for surely has to be appreciated. That delta is broken, it just doesn't want to go away from around 0. Come on, go negative a little bit, please. Well, it was green sector too, but it didn't go negative. Do I have enough fuel? I think I should have. Come on! Well, that's a family-friendly lap time. Yeah, for sure the way to drive this race is to take softs and just keep them. Don't change. That's the recipe if some of you guys do it tomorrow. After whole race the tires are still above 50% and the grip is very good. But yeah, probably you cannot over-push them at start. That car is not going straight. Okay. You know what would be funny? If I am one lap short on the fuel. This car is flying. Oh well, that wasn't the best gap in the world, but alright. I thought the guy was slightly drifting towards the left side, so I saw a hypothetical philosophical gap that wasn't really there. Anyway, no contact, all good. I'm still struggling with this Porsche kind of balance when you go on throttle and the front stops gripping. Maybe that's one thing that's the same in iRacing and here. iRacing at least simulates that. The Porsche front. I saw a gap, I went for it and I made it, yeah, maybe. I made a gap by just thinking of it. Or rather, is there a gap if you're not looking at it? Or does the gap appear at the moment you look at it? Yeah, that should be the last lap for sure. This is the last lap. Except if Michi is within a couple of seconds behind me, but I don't think he is. There's always a gap, yeah. Well, could be a Schrödinger gap. You only know if there is a gap after you test it. The off-track gap, I mean, if grass and gravel have grip, then why not? And yeah, indeed this has been the last lap, so we are going to survive in P7. At least I have a fastest lap here for the leaderboard, if nothing else. Oh dear. Well, time to check the replay. But that was unfortunate. Is there still some Michi on track so I can headlights flash him? Nope. Well, GG Michi. Now let's find the incident. Display standings timing. Oh, this is laggy. 4:41, okay. Where has it gone now? .27. So this must be the time that I was in the pits. Actually not. So it happened on this lap. Oh yes. Time to breathe deeply. Well, first of all, thank you for the GGs and for the nice drives. Well, I tried. And now let's see. I don't know. Okay, once more. So here I see, okay, no rear wing. He's very slow, but he's probably making it. At this point I thought, okay, he's went too much to the right, so he's gonna try moving more to the left. And then I decided, okay, let's go around on the right, but yeah, if at this point I had a couple of seconds to consider the situation, I would have noticed that he went way too much to the left, according to what the car could handle. So it was logical that he's gonna snap to the right. Yeah, he was just correcting, and then... And at this point I realized I stepped on brake already. Yeah, I realized here. I mean, that's kind of 2/10 of reaction time, right? But the car snapped so quickly. It was impossible to react to that, really. Like, I would have to know here. But, like, there was no gap on the left. Yeah, the only way to survive was to step on the brake and wait. But I really thought he had it under control. And then this wall that is sticking out. Actually, he sent me with the rear into the wall, so it was like a double squeeze. I mean, the wisdom goes that for a crash you need to have two stupid people, or like two people doing mistakes. And the part of the stupid which I played it, which I had here, was that I didn't realize that I have some gap. I can still fight for the win even if I lose 2-3 seconds here and stay alive. I was just focusing on finding the gap. Yeah, I was not looking at him. He was in my peripheral vision. I was trying to find the gap around him. And then, yeah, that's a mistake. If there is a car without a rear wing, you should always assume he's gonna crash right into your way. So I should not have looked at the gap, especially for such a tricky line around there. Like, it's a tricky corner and the barrier is right there. Yeah, I mean, part of it is luck, but if I looked at this car, I would have seen here that something is not gonna go right. Like, at this point it's still right. At this point it's obvious that he's gonna crash if you like move it slowly. Maybe not obvious, but maybe 50-50. High enough chance that it makes sense to brake and wait for him. I was asking for it, you know. He probably tried his best to keep it 6th gear. He must be feeling even worse than I am with this crash. He panicked a bit, I think. At this point it was already decided, because the car swerved to right and he had to correct with a delay because of the damage, and it was impossible to correct it. And then Michi comes by and waves me a goodbye. Well, happens. He's made a 59.6, so that's not the fastest lap for me. Michi is gonna be ahead. Alright. Well, now, the issue is that next race is in 25 minutes. I thought if I should do it or not. To be honest, I'm not really feeling like doing another race in 25 minutes. I've done so much iRacing earlier that it has already melted my brain. But we can maybe just check the standings, not the standings, well, it is standings, right? The race results. Right, so Michi, where was Jan? In the end he was 50 seconds behind with one stop less, if I understood that correctly. Yeah, I think he saved for 19 laps, while we were going for 15 and 16. But Michi has passed Krilo. Wait, that's a big gap. Yeah, that's quite a big gap. Hi Jan, nice lift and coasting there. Now let's see if I'm still around the middle of Gold 1. -7. That's alright, you know. Better -7 than -30, which I got a couple of times due to bugs and worse crashes. Oh, that was actually a great fight for P1 there in LMP2s. Is that... yeah, that's the gap at the end of the race. Half a second after 75 minutes, that's quite something. Okay, well, yeah, Yankesh, I just checked it on the replay. You can rewind a little bit. Yeah, there was a very broken LMP2 that corrected his car into me, and yeah, it was unlucky. Hi Mayu, thank you. You had a good view. All right. Wait, are you Daniel? Yeah, quite unlucky. I mean, in the end, I could have survived it if I just braked and waited for the car without rear wing to crash himself. Because yeah, this is already something that I experienced before, so... Ah, P10. I see. Ah, you were the yellow Porsche. That car looks quite nice in the dark. Iron links. What can I say? Is there something else to do? Opala. It's not something I want to... Wait. Before I leak something... I just wanted to quickly show on... Does that work? Wait, maybe I can make it bigger. No, I want... Come on. Okay, like this is fine. So we are still P15 with Jesper. This is iRacing. Yeah, it's not gonna... I mean, whatever. There is... If you're iRacer, you will be able to see that yourself, but... I don't even know what I wanted to say now. But I guess it's time to say thank you guys for watching. And to suffering with me through the crashes. I don't really have words. Would have been nice to fight with Michi, but it was still kind of fun in the end. Where is the leaderboard? Michi got a better lap in the end. But he changed the tires, so... Still, there was really not much, like maybe it was 2/10 difference in the gap. The softs held up remarkably well. Quite incredible. Anyway, yeah, time to go. Probably see you on Sunday when I'm driving the other weekly event. This one, Fuji, with the hypercars. Maybe I'm taking the BMW and trying to put it P1 in the leaderboard. Anyway, till then, have a good one. Bye bye.